So, the third thing that we're going to be recapping on is the concept of key conversations. So, you might remember that at the very beginning of this session, we talked about, well, what is a key conversation? A key conversation doesn't just have to be about when someone's performance is poor or they need to be reprimanded. It could actually be to help create some stretch goals or to help reset some expectations and give some feedback. So, there are some principles that we go by when thinking about setting up for having a key conversation that really help us to keep on track. And these are making sure that this isn't a point scoring exercise, that we're both being adults in the conversation. So remember the child adult parent paradigm, it's about being two adults in the conversation. It's about caring for that other person's well-being and coming from a position of care. It's about making sure that you're not always right. You're not coming in there with this conclusion that you are right, because you're there to learn, listen, and understand the other person's perspective. And that you're choosing to have that conversation in a timely manner. So that's to make sure that you're actually having the conversation as close to the moment as possible and appropriate, so that that person has opportunity to reflect on their behaviour and to make changes. So then we went and looked at the 4 stages of a key conversation. So the first of these is called pre-framing. So this is where we actually set the conversation up. It's not having the conversation, it's just setting the conversation up so that someone can feel that they know what to expect, and this helps to promote a sense of safety rather than of threat. The second section of having a conversation is called data. So this was all about making sure that you are providing them with the data as to why you believe what you believe, or why you need to have the conversation that you need to have. And it's really important to use data so that we can remain objective. And again, this helps people to stay out of that threat response. Then the third thing that we looked into, or the third step, was questions. And this is about providing really good questions to get the response from the other person about their perspective. So this is a really important section within a conversation framework, and it's really important that you ask some really good open questions to try and encourage the other person's perspective, so that you can listen and potentially even change your own previous conclusions about the situation. And the fourth section that we had for the conversation framework was called commitment. Now, you might remember we talked about a beach scenario where an actor set up on the beach and put his radio under a towel, and in one instance he asked people that were nearby to watch his stuff, and in another instance he didn't bother to ask them to watch his stuff. And then they had an actor come in and try and steal the radio from under the towel. Now, where they had asked for someone to watch their stuff, they had a 95% chance that that person would seek to intervene, compared with 20% if they didn't ask them to mind their stuff. Now, that is a massive difference, and that is all about commitment. That is about people feeling that they need to be consistently doing the things that they say that they're going to do. So when you're having a key conversation, it's really important that you end in a position of commitment. And if you haven't been able to get to a point of committing on something, then maybe the commitment will be that you'll meet again tomorrow and you'll have that conversation to land on that commitment. So these 4 steps of the conversation don't have to go in that exact order, and you might move in and out of different phases. What's important is that you cover all of the elements, but that you allow it to be authentic, so you don't treat the conversation as a step 1 to 4 process. So look, I hope that's really helped you in your recollections and reflections on key conversations. Thank you.